November 24th, a quiet man in a dark suit boards a commercial airplane. He orders a drink, lights a cigarette, and then calmly hands a note to the flight attendant. At first, she assumes it's just a phone number. Within hours, the man will collect $200,000 in ransom, parachute into a violent storm, and disappear forever. This is the unsolved mystery of D.B. Cooper. The flight was Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, traveling from Portland to Seattle. Among the passengers was a middle-aged man using the name Dan Cooper. Witnesses described him as calm, polite, and ordinary. He wore a dark business suit, a white shirt, a black tie, and dark sunglasses. Nothing about him seemed suspicious. But hidden inside his briefcase was something terrifying: a bomb. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed the note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. When she sat beside him, he quietly opened his briefcase. Inside were wires, batteries, and red cylinders. A bomb. Cooper then made his demand. He wanted $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready when the plane landed. If his demands were not met, he would detonate the bomb. The plane landed in Seattle. Authorities quickly gathered the ransom money, exactly $200,000 in $20 bills. Each bill had been carefully recorded by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Once the money and parachutes were delivered, Cooper released all the passengers, but he kept several crew members on board. Then he gave the pilots a strange set of instructions. They were to fly south toward Mexico. It was night. Heavy rain pounded the aircraft. Strong winds rocked the plane. Somewhere over the dark forests of Washington state, Cooper prepared to leave. He tied the money to himself, put on a parachute, and opened the rear staircase of the plane. The crew watched the cockpit instruments shake violently, and then, at 8:13 p.m., a sudden jolt shook the aircraft. D.B. Cooper had jumped into the stormy night and vanished. The search that followed was one of the largest in FBI history. Agents searched forests, mountains, rivers, but they found nothing. No parachute, no body, no trace of the mysterious hijacker. For years, investigators chased hundreds of suspects, but none were ever proven to be Cooper. Bundles of cash. When investigators checked the serial numbers, they matched the ransom money. Nearly $6,000 from Cooper's ransom had somehow ended up there, but the rest of the money was never recovered, and Cooper himself was never found. So what really happened to D.B. Cooper? Some investigators believe he died during the jump. The storm was violent. The terrain below was dangerous. Others believe Cooper survived. Perhaps he was a trained paratrooper or a former military operative. And then there are the more mysterious theories. Some believe he planned everything perfectly and escaped with the money, disappearing into history forever. More than 50 years later, the identity of D.B. Cooper remains unknown. He is the only airplane hijacker in history who was never caught. Somewhere out there, the truth still exists. Did Cooper survive the jump? Or did the storm claim him forever? One man, one jump, and one mystery that still haunts aviation history. If you enjoy compelling and mysterious stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating mysteries from around the world. And tell me in the comments, do you think D.B. Cooper survived the jump?